What's going on, man? Your boy TrendsetterSense, and of course, this is Rhythm and Streets. Of course, what is Rhythm Streets? Rhythm and Streets brings you the new, the hottest, the best with the street edge, that classic soul. This is what we do, man. And I have a very, very special guest. She goes by the name out of D.C., Maryland, the whole DMV area.
Yes.
The legendary, the star in the making, the beautiful Alex Vaughn. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Thank you so much for sharing this platform with me. I've been doing all the research on your brand. Your voice is amazing, very talented. Just excited to be talking to you. So let's get, into the whole evolution of Alex Vaughn.
Okay.
I mentioned DC, Maryland. Talk about, growing up. Tell me the evolution of Alex Vaughn.
So, I'm born and raised in PG County, Maryland.
PG.
And, the music always started at my grandmother's house. She had a piano in her home, and, I would, you get babysat at your grandmother's house, and I would just crawl into the piano and just bang out the keys. And I think from there, it just kind of started the curiosity for just sounds and making new sounds. And, being in the DMV, it's very heavy on culture and community. So it's just a lot of Black excellence. It's a lot of range. You got your, your neighbor who might be a doctor, but they cussing you out on the lawn. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a lot of this variety of just personality and just saying what you mean and meaning what you say, and being lighthearted and just being witty. And I just feel like that entire environment and upbringing just kind of helped shape my personality and my voice as an artist. And, throughout school, I was always involved in choirs and, still a kid. I wasn't I was always in love with music, but, like I said, I was just still a kid, just figuring it out, navigating it. And as I got older, I just started to get a little bit more intentional. And then I went to performing arts high school where I got classical training. And shout out to Suitland High School. I'm always shout them out because it was a classical-based program within a regular school. So again, I'm still getting a balance and getting a blend of just perspective and just music and just the environment. And it's definitely prepared me for the world.
Yeah. So talk about it. You said your grandmother played the piano. She taught you?
So my grandmother didn't teach me how to play piano. Love my grandmother to death, but she's not that great of a pianist. But she definitely is the person who
inspired you.
Inspired me because
Gotcha.
she had the piano in her house, and she put me into piano lessons when I was really young. And then that teacher passed, and her son started teaching me jazz piano, where I started learning about Stevie Wonder and Sarah Vaughn and the Beatles and just all of these world class acts. And from there, I just started falling in love with music in a different way and learning chord progressions and playing by ear. And yeah, that's kind of how the piano started. I mean, my parents always said I used to hum when I chewed my food. So I think music was always just inevitable for me. And then a combination of the music that they used to play in the car. My mom would play, Yolanda Adams or Jill Scott, India Arie, my dad,
That's
The
soulful.
Whispers, Stevie Wonder. Biggie. It was just always just a range of just soul music, even when I didn't know what they were talking about.
Right,
So I was a
right.
kid, but
Right.
I just felt Mary. I felt her, and I just wanted to just do things that make you feel.
Were there any other instruments that you learned besides the piano?
Not in my upbringing, no, but I'm not gonna say fake learning, but my next instrument is definitely guitar because I want to learn how to play bass.
You see that? You see that thing right there?
I do. I don't care. I'm secretly very jealous of everybody who can play a guitar.
Yeah.
Yes.
When was your first? Okay, I'm thinking about when you were in school. When was the first time you actually performed, sang, and played the piano? That was school time. You did a talent show or something?
Sung and played the piano in school. I don't know, to be honest. I think my first school talent show was in 4th grade, and I auditioned singing "Deep Inside" by Mary J. Blige.
Okay.
It's funny thinking about it now, because girl, what are you talking about? But singing and playing, it wasn't a secret growing up. I used to make YouTube videos when I was in high school, but making it known that yo, I do this, look at me. It was never That was never my objective. Like even being in the performing arts program, like we had like school band and talent shows. I don't know. I was never part of them.
Yeah. You just being a student.
Just doing me.
Okay.
Just fine tuning that.
So then let me ask you this then, like when did it become serious to you?
Well, it's always been serious to me. You know, I've always wanted to be a singer. Of course, when I was younger, I used to want to be a singer and a train conductor. And
Train conductor?
I liked the overalls and the outfit, to be honest. Same thing. I used to want to be in the Army. My dad was in the military.
Okay.
So I just like the outfits. Again, just fashion.
Yeah.
But I think when it got super serious for me was when I got a full scholarship to college for classical voice. Because like I said, the performing arts program I went to was classically driven.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think I want to spend 4 years here. And of course, I'm a teenager, so my parents like, yeah, LOL, you're going to college. You got a full scholarship. We're not playing.
Right.
But that was like my true moment because, you know, being involved in the arts, like you have to have your heart in it. And if your heart's not there, it's not going to work.
Facts.
And, you know, I'm here spending time and space with people who are super passionate about classical music, which I'm also passionate about.
Right.
But at the time, I felt like I needed to make a choice. Okay. So that's when I was like, yeah, I got to put time into the R&B and what I like and whatever that is. Yeah.
So who were you listening to when you made that decision at that time? Like, I mean, as far as music.
Oh, because I was listening to myself. Who was I listening to? You know what's so funny? So I went to college in Connecticut, and one thing I did not know about Connecticut is that there is a great population of West Indians. Okay. So when I was in college, I found myself like kind of in an exploratory phase. I hope that explorative. I was exploring in an exploring phase, and there was a lot of dance hall happening when I was in college and getting ready to leave. So it was like, man, we about to just groove. Like we about to just vibe and groove. That's kind of like what dance hall felt like at the time. We would just release and just party and groove and just become carefree. And I was in a space where I was like, I'm about to leave school. I'm about to make a decision that my parents aren't happy with. It's time to be carefree and vibe out. Right. And of course, you know, I was always listening to the same, 5 to 10 people all the time. Jill Scott, like I said, right. Kanye West, Missy Elliott. Alicia Keys. One of my favorite songs, Amy Winehouse. I'm sorry, I'm like getting distracted. One of my favorite songs is "Can't Tell Me Nothing" by Kanye West. So that was probably my theme song for every decision that I've made in my life.
Of course, we got Alex Vaughn in the building. This is Rhythm and Streets. I am TrendsetterSense. Let's talk about your breakthrough. Like transitioning. You was into college, and then you started doing shows, and then I also saw that you've done a whole bunch of tours, and we're gonna get into the tour that you're on currently right now. But you was doing opening for K Michelle. I saw you did a song with Wale. How did all this stuff come together? Like you in the DC scene, you moving around. What's going on in Alex's world?
I think for the most part, it was really just keeping my head down and just wanting to learn and wanting more. And I think keeping that mentality and knowing my why just kind of helped shift things and shape things together. I was working jobs and I felt like they were in the way all the time. There was little pay. I didn't have a car to get to these studio sessions and to get to the shows. But again, for what I wanted, nothing could really get in the way of that. And I knew I wanted to perform. I knew I wanted to share my gift with people, and it came with gigs that I didn't feel made sense. You know what I'm saying? Older crowds, or this isn't, whatever. But it's just about getting your 10,000 hours in and really just wanting to share with everybody. I don't want to gatekeep my talent to just a certain audience. I want to give it to the world. And in order to know how to relate to the people, you got to be in the field with the people. Right. So it was just a lot of it's a lot of trial and error. Definitely people who, wanted to work with me. And I was always open. I'm always open to, meeting and connecting with people. But, not everybody has the same intention. Right. So, excuse me, it was just trial and error. But again, just sticking to what I believe in and what I want for myself. And, in time, things started aligning. I have an amazing team now. And, we just started going through the mud together. And now we're here.
Was there ever a time that you were like, man, I don't know about this? Was there a moment of doubt? Did Alex ever have a moment of doubt?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, moments of doubt. I never is this for me or should I quit? That's never been a question. Am I sure that it's me? Like, sometimes I just been doing me my whole life, and people gravitate towards it, but I was never like seeking for people to gravitate towards me. I just want to help, and you get to a space where you want to do more, and then you start questioning what you've been doing the whole time, and that can kind of warp you a little bit. But it's really I have a good relationship with myself. We've been working on it. It's okay to have doubts. It's human.
Yeah.
But, if you're able, as long as I'm able to coach myself and at least lean on my village, the people who I trust to kind of get me out of that rut, then I'm good. And I do have that foundation. So, I've had doubts, but, ever thought about stopping?
It wasn't nothing.
It wasn't nothing. Yeah. Definitely like
So you knew, because I'm going to tell you something. Every major artist that I've been in and have had interactions with, they always knew who they were. Like they always, and it's a whole bunch of like, I remember, Lil Uzi, knowing him just for my team, and he like, oh, I'm gonna be the biggest rapper in the world. And he only had like 10,000 followers, but he knew like that's what he was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, do you have that same, is that like, that's that confidence? It's not cocky, it's not arrogance, but it's like.
It's a confidence. I wouldn't say it's a cockiness, because I wouldn't consider myself cocky or arrogant.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of things that I question, but there's some things that I do know for sure. And I'm going to be the Alex Vaughn of our generation.
I like that.
And
see, the trendsetter.
Yeah, the trendsetter, not the
trying to be nobody else.
No, and I love all the people who've paved the way, so I can be me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I've always known that. I don't know what it looks like. I've never known what the path looks like. I'm starting to see what I'm starting to notice some trends right now. Like it's gonna come with a lot of combat, a lot of self-talks and self-reflection, a lot of pivoting, a lot of just, unlearning, breaking shit down. Am I allowed to curse on here? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay. Oh, shit, damn. Just a lot of just breaking down, just a lot of, just embracing new spaces. It just comes with a lot of combat as you start to define who you want to be and who you plan to be and what you're not budging on. I'm getting accustomed to it, and I'm getting stronger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I like it.
You love it?
I love it. I love it.
Where do you think R&B is going?
I think
this
R&B,
new generation thing.
I think R&B is entering a super, super beautiful space. I think people are taking what they've learned and what they love about R&B and mixing it with some things they just want to try and how they feel inside, and that is only going to breed new sounds. And I think that, people are afraid of change, and we're in an era of change. So it's like you need to learn how to embrace it.
Right.
And of course, in time, stuff's got to marinate. So it'll get into your system soon.
Right.
But R&B is not going anywhere. I've never thought for one moment that R&B was dead. It's being reborn.
I feel it.
You feel it?
Yeah. Artists like yourself, shout out my girl Jazzy. She just dropped
the project.
Yeah.
Shout out Jazzy. She already knows. I already told her I'm obsessed with her right now.
Sis.
I love her.
Yeah.
She wrote one of the songs on my EP.
She did? Mm-hmm. That's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you, speaking of Jazzy, who is like some of the other artists like that you connecting with, you feeling, you listening to at this time?
I've been connecting with people that I've met, and because people are tight, but it's really like who you are and how you are on the inside. My homie Fabo, he's an R&B artist. He's incredible. My good homie Foggy Raw, he's a rapper, lyricist. He's from the DMV. Matt McGee, Money Long. That's my good sis.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when I first met her. I was just coming to LA, and I don't know if Mercury's in retrograde, but that month was taking me out.
Yeah.
And my manager was like, yo, I'm working with this artist. We in the studio, pull up. And I pulled up, and she did like 8 songs in like an hour.
Yeah.
And part of me wanted to like go in the bathroom and cry because I was just in my head about whatever, but there was still something in me that just felt like inspired and challenged. And then she and I were just having regular conversation, and I just started helping with some lyrics. I'm like, damn, I can do this too. And it's not like a person over another. It's like we're peers.
Right.
And I think that is like the quality that I look for when I'm like connecting with other artists. So
that was just
shout out to my girl.
Shout out to Money Long. I was going to ask that question, like, what is your process like with collaborating and writing with other artists? Is it like, is it is it strictly business or like you want to have that certain vibe, a certain connection? Like, how does it work for Alex Vaughn?
Definitely not strictly business. I think the biggest key to creation is being comfortable. So if we're like just, focused on getting the track good and
all robotic,
like I'm not going to give my best work.
Yeah.
So my process is really just, just talking to you, vibing with you. I mean, songs are a conversation, so we need to be able to converse.
Right.
And then we just start bouncing ideas off of each other. And then before you know it, we just start getting some melodies. And, song creation is not like, there's no correct way to do it. So it's a lot of just throwing things against the wall and just being brave enough to just say it out loud.
Right.
But again, that takes comfort.
Right.
So that's pretty much it. I used to write by myself, only write by myself. But when I moved to LA, it was like, oh my gosh, help feels good.
Yeah.
I love writing with other people. I love getting different perspectives. I only know what I know. And you only know what you know. And then let's combine it and create something new.
I like that. Let's talk about it. LVRN. Popular label. Shout out my man Tunde, the whole team over there. How did this come about?
So my story to my memory, during the pandemic in 2020, we were all like in the house. I was in Maryland. I don't think it's my grandmother's piano, but there was nothing but a piano in the house that I was staying in, basically. And the label, they do like a talent show on their Instagram Live, and they just let people on and just play for them. And I didn't know who they were. Somebody else was like tweeting like, y'all get me in this live so I can sing. I was like, man, let me do it. And I got picked.
Wow.
And I was looking crazy, and I just played a couple songs of mine, and they were like...
Hold up. You said you was looking crazy.
I was looking ridiculous. I mean, like, we in the pandemic, like, I don't got no makeup on, my hair is not done, my eyebrows grown out, everything's closed. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just... But they could still see me.
Right.
And I thought that was pretty cool. And I didn't think that they were gonna, I just be singing. I do this all the time. I just sing and play.
Right.
And they were like, oh, we got what we need. We getting off the live. Bye, y'all.
Just like that.
I was like, again, I don't know what this means.
Right.
So then we had some dialogue from there, and pandemic was pandemicing, so we kind of lost contact. And then fast forward a couple months, I came out to LA because flights was like, $35. And I'm missing a detail. And then also during the pandemic, I was working on a live album. And we were in this house every day, and it was different musicians, and I'm just writing songs from scratch. And from there, we got the production for Mirage, which was my first single that I dropped with the label. I had written that song before that session, but that's not important right now. Yeah, so then fast forward August, September, October, November, December, January, February, I don't know. Money, he met with someone else on the label, just having casual conversation, and he was just playing some records as we're just making records all the time. And he played Mirage, and somebody passed it to somebody else.
So Mirage is the song that
that put everything together.
Nice.
And to be honest, I don't even know if they remember that they put me on the Instagram Live, but that was my first memory of
okay.
them. So they heard Mirage, and then Money calls me. He's like, yeah, get dressed. We about to meet with some people and look nice. And I don't really like stuff like that.
And look nice.
I'm like, I don't really like how you talking to me. Whatever. Don't really care for that. So, I just put some clothes on, do my hair, whatever. I don't know who these people are. I never been a person that's like, oh my God, I'm about to meet this person. Let me wear my best outfit, do my best tricks. Take it or leave.
You don't care about none of that.
This is who I am.
Right.
So, met Justice. And, now that I know Justice, I totally just know the way we were have eye contact in the conversation. But I was he was pretty regular. I was pretty regular. He was asking challenging questions. I'd answer them how I answered them because I'm a witty woman. And, it was just a vibe check.
It was nothing, man.
It was nothing.
Yeah,
I don't really know. Well, even when I did the live, I didn't know, they were a label. I didn't know this is where Summer Walker was signed. I didn't know. I didn't really put all that together. I was just vibing.
Yeah.
And we had the meeting. We left the meeting, and Money was like, yeah, we about to go to dinner. I was like, okay, I'm missing it. Why?
Right.
I think they about to sign you.
Damn.
I was like, really? Okay. And then I got the official offer, and I'd say it took like a month for me to process, like,
What was really going on?
yeah. I was like, and then I just woke up one day and ugly cried, like, oh my God. And then fast forward to October 2021, the ink was dry.
The ink was dry. Alex Vaughn, LVRN, Interscope. Shout out my man Amir, also in the building, man. The homie. So look, now you got the deal. Now you got the situation. You feeling pressure? Was it pressure? Like, oh, like Summer Walker signed to that label, you know, the black, you know, it's a whole lot.
I wouldn't say pressure in that sense, but oh my God, the first like 4 months that I was signed, I was miserable. Not because of anything they were doing.
Yeah.
It was just me, like just internally, just in my head, like, yo, should I change something? Because, you know, you see people famous all the time. You've been seeing famous people on television since you were a child.
Right.
And it just seems like they got it all together.
Right.
This was kind of like
Totally not true, but.
Totally not true.
Yeah.
And this is like the switch that started to happen when I got signed. Like, oh, you're on the other side now. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, does this look right? Like, does this look the way that looks? Are we sure this is okay? And then, you know, you're just surrounded by so many people who are gifted songwriters and gifted producers and, you know, people who are like more comfortable in their artistry, because being an artist is, you know, of course, you know, being talented and gifted, but it's really about being brave and bold. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you're just meeting these people who are like so much more brave and bold or just more evolved. And that came through their experiences and their trial and errors. And I just started looking at myself like, I don't know. But it's been a beautiful ride so far.
Is this some of the inspiration on the songs you write? Like
absolutely.
All these experiences that hit you?
Absolutely. All the songs that I've ever written are about my relationship with myself.
Word?
100%. And the people who kind of inspired, they're like, you know, not main characters in the story. Like they're just vessels to teach me something. That's how I've always felt about everybody who I've ever been involved with.
That's a dope aspect. You know?
I don't know when that became a thing in my brain, but seriously, like, I don't even hold grudges against the people who've done me wrong or my old situations. I just feel like you were just brought into my life to teach me something about myself. And so I've always written from this perspective of like, what would I tell me when I'm feeling the opposite? And just how do I get me out of this rut, or what did I do? I've always been a person who's like held myself too accountable versus holding myself and others accountable. So yeah, I always write about my relationship with myself.
You know, because going back to your EP, The Hurt Book, you know, I was looking at it as like it was your relationships in, you know, your personal life, what was going on. Like, but then you said a relationship with yourself.
Oh yeah.
So like, there's like no experiences, anything, like it's just.
Oh no, it's a combo.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's everything.
Okay.
No, look, when I say my relationship with myself, I'm saying like the way that the relationship or the situationship went with that friend or that lover, it just showed me like how I treat myself. Like I reflected on how I was moving in the situation, on how that even happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is my wallet missing, right? But at the same time, it's like, why do you have that man in your house? You don't even know him like that. And why is your purse open? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just kind of think about what I did in the situation and how I could fix it.
I love that perspective. I love that perspective. Alex Vaughn is in the building. Speaking of The Hurt Book, how did that title come about? That's a dope concept.
Because at first the project was going to be about like just a compilation of love songs between me and just some people, and then I ended up wanting to focus it on one person specifically, and it felt like our story just kept not ending, and it reminded me of The Notebook, the movie The Notebook.
Good ass movie, by the way.
Very good movie.
Yeah.
But I was like, then through time, I just noticed like other things were starting to shift. Like that relationship with that person was the least important. I was noticing like shifts in my friendships and like shifts in my relationship with myself. Like just me just questioning the world. Like I just started entering like this new adult puberty or something. And I wouldn't say it was discouraging or it made me sad and I don't really consider myself a sad person. You know, I just be hurt sometimes. I was like, Hurt Book.
It's like you just take it with a grain of salt. Like, yeah, that was cool, but
yeah, it's just a story of just hurt. You just be hurting, but you hurt, but you heal and you move on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was just a hurt book.
Currently on tour with Ari Lennox. Tell me
Yes.
how this evolved.
I wish there was like a super intricate story on this.
It sounds like it should be.
But when I dropped my project in October, I knew like, okay, the next step is tour. I didn't know who I paired with. Again, as a newer artist, I'm like, I don't even know where I fit. It's such an irritating thought. I'm working on it. But yeah, so I was like, I don't know where I fit. I don't know if I like could gel with a rapper, if I could gel with a male R&B artist. Like I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know who it was. Of course, I knew Ari had dropped an album earlier that year, and I was obsessed with it. But I didn't know how the timeline went with tours. But I was like, I don't know when she's going on tour because, again, I'm new here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was like, that would be a cool idea.
Wait, you felt that before it even happened?
When she dropped her album,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
manifested that.
She's locking in, and I'm
manifested
liking
that.
what she's doing. And then I just started thinking about like what I wanted to align with. And this is like I said, this is totally pre-tour talk. I'm just saying, just overall, just watching like Ari's, and just shout out to Ari Lennox, like
Facts.
just like watching her whole evolution. Just being an artist who, at least in my eyes, doesn't feel like she's like trying to like be gimmicky. Like she's just being authentically her, and whatever comes and goes with that is just what it is, because she's not budging on who she is, and just seeing people like embrace her, and she's fucking talented as hell, and she can write her ass off, and she's gorgeous, and she's quirky, and she's from the same area I'm from.
Right.
And I was like, I really align with that. You know what I'm saying? I align with that energy and that vibe. And then, fast forward to December or January, I get the call like, yo, we got you on tour with Ari Lennox. No, you know what's so funny? Actually, no. October, it was the Soul Train Awards, and I saw Jeremy, which is her house engineer. And, he and I are homies because we work together. And I was just asking him, I was like, yo, like, when is Ari going on tour? Like, is that happening? He's like, I don't know, maybe in the springtime. I don't know. Both of us clueless.
Yeah.
And then fast forward a month and a half later,
That's what's up.
she announces the tour, and I'm like, oh, I want to go on the tour. And then I get a phone call saying I'm going on the tour.
Congratulations on that. So how's the tour been treating you?
Oh, it's been a dream come true.
Yeah.
This is my first ever tour, and I couldn't ask for anything else. You know what I'm saying? I knew that when I embraced this new chapter, I'd be faced with new challenges. I knew that, I'd have to get comfortable with the people who were on the road with me. We'd have to develop a system and a routine. Like, I knew it was going to come with this. Of course, it still stings when it's happening in real time, but these are the learning curves that I wanted. These are the growing pains that I wanted.
You straight in the fire.
Yeah, straight up. Like, I'm in an answered prayer. I knew what was going to come with this, so I'm good. And then Jalen Josie, shout out to her too. She's the other opener on the tour. It's just good synergy.
Right.
It's awesome. And we all so fine, and we can sing so well. And it's just like
it's good music.
It's just good music. It's like an uplifting relay race.
Right.
It's like, Jalen will go on stage and kill it. And just like in the vibe, she'd be like, who's next? Like, you up? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like we're just warming the stage up more and more for each other each and every night.
Do you feel at home when you're like on stage in front of thousands of people?
I feel the most at home when I'm on stage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. Like, there's no anxiety, there's no nothing.
No, I think the most anxiety I experience is like right before, like an hour before we're about to go on stage. Because it's like, bro, this is the longest hour of my life. And it's just like an adrenaline rush that starts happening. It's like, bro, when is it happen? When is it starting? When can we start?
Yeah.
But then once I pray, that's like,
you just release it, just let
I
it
just
go.
release it. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
And then you go on stage, and I think the best part about performing is that you're your freest. You can't like redo the take. You can't. You could do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the beauty. It's just the freedom. And then once you're comfortable and you're fully comfortable, then the audience gets comfortable. And again, once you're comfortable, sky's the limit.
Yeah, it's over. You in the zone, the audience in the zone, like, it's just nothing but, I love it, man. Talk to me about, well, first of all, so it's some songs coming out from this, right?
What?
Some collaborations with.
Of course.
Yeah, so that's on deck already.
Of course.
Okay, all right. Give me Alex Vaughn's Mount Rushmore.
My Mount Rushmore?
Yes.
I can be on there, right?
Yeah. How you feel?
Yeah, I'm definitely on there. Damn. It was like
All time now. What we doing?
Like throughout life?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a tough one, ain't it?
It's like 5 heads.
Yeah.
Or is this my own? I can make my own on my
I mean, if you want to,
Mount
five
Alex
five piece.
Okay. In no order. Amy Winehouse, Jill Scott, Whitney Houston, Kanye West. Oh my God.
Drum roll.
I don't know. It's between Mary J. Blige and Stevie Wonder.
All right, we could just add one more.
All right, Mary and Stevie.
5 years from now. That was a lot. It's like you had to get a lot.
And I still feel bad. Like I know I missed.
You want some honorable mentions?
Alicia Keys is a super honorable mention. Like, fun fact, when I started doing YouTube videos, I made my YouTube account in like 2005 or something. But my YouTube name was Lil Keys 94.
Lil Keys.
Lil Keys. And I used to, take piano lessons and hated them. But then she came out and she was singing and playing the piano. And that is the reason why I still play.
I love it.
Also, You Don't Know My Name is one of my favorite songs in the entire world. So
And that's Kanye.
that is also Kanye.
Yeah.
And Harold Lilly. Shout out to Harold Lilly.
Okay. Speaking of producers, dream producer collaboration.
Here we go again. Pharrell,
Fire.
Thundercat,
Okay.
Anderson .Paak.
Okay. I like that. That'd be real musical. Have you already collabed with a dream producer?
I have.
Yeah.
I have. Rodney Jerkins.
Rodney Jerkins.
I'm going to just add him anyway, even though I already work with him.
Well, B. Cox, now SVP, LVRN.
B. Cox, also someone that I've worked with who is just
Shout out Brian.
incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Who did I say already?
You said Pharrell.
I
You
said
already got
Pharrell,
Rodney.
Thundercat. I said Anderson .Paak.
Anderson .Paak. Yeah. That's what
I had 3.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Missy Elliott. And Timbo.
And Timbo. I like that. I like that. Fast forward 5 years. What's Alex Vaughn gonna be doing?
Oh my God. That's 2028. That's insane to say. 2028, I'll totally have already been on multiple tours, North American and international.
Awards.
Oh yeah, awards,
accolades.
Working towards my EGOT.
Okay. That's where we going with it. Yeah. I see what you're doing.
5 years, I'll totally have acting roles by then. Like shows,
okay,
movies,
so the
whatever.
acting is...
I definitely want to act.
Okay. All right. That's already in the universe.
I'll have my own festival running in 5 years.
Ooh, I like that.
I'll have my clothing line.
Yeah.
And
the
jewelry
fashion thing.
line.
I love the hat, too.
Fashion, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll have that down pat in 5 years as well.
Okay.
Damn, I'm still gonna be kind of young. That's tight. Living my best life with a lot of damn money.
Yeah.
My people straight as fuck. I think those are probably that's the first few things I could think of off the top of my head.
I love it.
Oh, in 5 years, I'll definitely be more versed as a producer.
Okay.
And even though I play keys now, I'll be more of a dog in 5 years as well. And I'll have another instrument under my belt in 5 years for sure.
There we go. I love it. I appreciate you so much for sharing this platform, Rhythm and Streets. Alex Vaughn, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Vaughn.
Thank you.
Trendsetter.